Since retiring from the public's eye, I had resigned myself to a life of solitude. For 2 years, I started my day watching Kung Fu theater. Days, then weeks blurred into one long, greasy telethon. The next thing I know, some government goons show up at my place. It seems they've caught a whiff of old Mr. Sunshine himself, Rez. He's back in the media dimension, and they think I'm crazy enough to go back in after him. So they whisk me away to Interrogation 101. They play rough. Start giving me the business. I give a little back. So we negotiate a little something to cover my expenses. They throw in one of those secret agent suits, and I tell them we got a deal. Looks like I'm headed back into the media dimension. It's gonna be deja ouch all over again. Coming through.
Hello, humans and animals alike. This is Dylus, and welcome to Gex Enter the Gecko for the PlayStation. This is the second and arguably the most popular entry in the Gex series. A Gecko with attitude takes the leap to 3D to collect remotes, going through all kinds of channels, and ultimately tries to stop Rez from taking back the media dimension. I grew up with the N64 version of this game, actually, alongside Super Mario 64 back in the day. It was my first experience with Gex, and as they say, the rest is history. And Gex is coming back through the release of the Gex trilogy on current generation consoles and Steam, so I thought I'd celebrate with this playthrough. Well, I was gonna play this anyway, so... Alright, so before we get started, let's take a look at the options here. So, press square for controller, and we have various configurations. Our default is the cross button to jump, square to tail whip, and circle to eat a bug. We can change it to various configurations here. I like to stick with the default. And when we go to speakers, we can adjust the volume of the sound effects, music, and voice. So you can make the speakers shrink, and you can also just turn them on and off. I like how they just fall over when you just turn them off. Let's see. Alright. So, yeah, don't forget, you can turn Gex's voice off, although partially. The thing about the PlayStation version of Gex Enter the Gecko is that turning off Gex's voice here doesn't outright silence him. He still talks when he's entering and exiting levels. And yeah, this may still annoy people because there will be some who will groan at how many times Gex says some variation of his catchphrase, "It's tail time." In fact, just for fun, throughout this playthrough, I will be keeping count of how many times Gex says, "It's tail time," or any other variation of that. And for extra bonus points that mean absolutely nothing, I encourage anyone watching this to comment how many times you think Gex will say some variation of "It's tail time." Those who are the closest to the final tally will earn extra brownie points. Oh, and in case you're wondering, in the N64 version, turning voice off does actually completely silence Gex, so it was something they fixed, I guess. You can also switch between mono and stereo. Alright, enough about all that. It's time to start the game. Alright, let's go back once again to the media dimension. And things certainly look different from how they used to be. Now everything looks like... It's like we're in Greece, actually. Like, there's the Parthenon. We can see mountains. One of them probably Olympus. Perhaps that one. We have statues of Gex over here posing. Very nice. Anyway, before we get started too far into this, press the start button and you'll be able to not only resume and quit, but also change the camera settings. I highly recommend you don't play with semi on. It's fine for beginners, and the game will try to point you in the right direction automatically. But sometimes this will just end up screwing you over in certain segments of the game. Most of the time, I would pick manual. So, that way I have total control over the camera myself, but sometimes I may want to toggle between semi-automatic as well as full automatic. And when you're full automatic, you don't have any control of the camera. The camera just swivels right behind Gex as fast as it can. I guess without getting you too motion sick. It does it slowly. It eases out, but sometimes it's a little too slow for me. So when I go into manual mode, you can press the L1 and R1 buttons to position the camera in 45-degree increments. You can also press the triangle button to toggle between 3 zoom levels. You can also hold L1 or R1 to rotate the camera fully and smoothly. I'm going to primarily be tapping L1 and R1 for 45-degree increments because the levels are actually designed with these increments in mind, more so. Alright, so we have these question mark crystals here that tell us how to play the game, talking about the camera there. You can press the L1 and R1, L2 and R2 buttons to crouch, and while you're running and pressing the crouch buttons, press the jump button to do a karate kick. This is essentially your long jump. Oh yeah, you could also hold the triangle button to look around. Yeah, and that's how you do the karate kick.
You cannot get past the Tiki brothers.
Well, seems like Rez is making himself a little more known around these parts. Yeah, we'll be hearing Rez quite a bit on our journey here. Up here, we can see the spinning remote signs. I'll talk about remotes later, but for now, just know that those are gold remotes that they're talking about. There's silver and there's red as well. Red is the main collectible, and silver's for bonuses, and gold are for whatever's there. And also over here is kind of an Easter egg. Jeza! Rich 98. Faith, Hope, Unity. Must be some sort of, hippie message. Alright, enough with all that. It's time to pick a level. We have 2 options here. We can go for Smell Razor, our first horror level. And we also have Out of Toon, our first cartoon level. I'm going to start with Out of Toon.
I know what you're thinking. It's tail time.
Add one more to the tally. And let's whack 5 purple mushrooms first. How I'm going to be doing these missions is that I'm going to tackle the shortest ones first, and then work my way up towards the longer ones, where they will have me traverse the entire level, essentially. So we'll see some purple mushrooms. Gotta whack them.
To see the world as Keith Richards does.
Okay, so the first mushroom. Keep off the grass, man! Alright, so right where we start. These purple flowers are harmless. They like to keep a close eye on you. You can tail whip them to just make them shrink. Here's a stop sign.
The gift shop and the bathroom. Watch me use my tail to kick your butt.
So yeah, we could tail whack that guy numerous times. But let's focus on the mushrooms. There's a second one right behind that rock. Watch out for the bee! A bee?! Alright, there's a garden here, but no purple mushrooms here, so I'll just pass that up.
I taste dog duty.
Oh yeah, Gex has a, can grab ledges with his tongue. It's not really the most reliable, but it does get you out in a pinch.
Now that's what I call getting some tail.
And when you gain 30 Tier 1 collectibles, you get an extra life, and you're on your way to collecting Tier 2 collectibles. I'll talk about collectibles a little later, but first off, we have a TV to whack here. Purple flies mean extra lives. Just like in Gex 1, this game's going to hand out extra lives like candy, primarily because of the collectibles. Watch out, there are piranhas in the water. They like a nibble of those juicy Gecko toesies. Alright, there's number 4. You know what, I might as well go over this way and show something. There's this weird snow area here.
To see the world as Keith Richards does.
Don't know why they have this here and, like, nowhere else around here, but if we take a look, there's a shiny silver remote for us to collect right across that, protruding wall there.
Tail time!
This is a hidden silver remote. Every normal level has one of these, so be on the lookout for them. It's an encouragement to explore. Alright, I'm going to be tail whipping as I collect the collectibles, because it's the most reliable way to get them. Oh, yeah, watch out, the yellow flowers, they can whack you with a mallet if you're too slow about them. They're mischievous buggers. Alright, so with that, we collect our first red remote.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Alright. Alright, let's save our game. Let's see. Yeah, I'll save in a new file. There we go. Yeah, I already saved. Alright.
It's tail tail time!
Now, let's hunt the two hunters. Shh! Be very quiet. I'm hunting geckos.
Would Cheech and or Chong report to the front desk?
Yeah, we're high on drugs in this new Toon land. Toontown this ain't. Alright, let's go right to our mission right now, why don't we? So, Gex actually moves fairly nimbly across, like, all the levels you'll be going through, so... he controls pretty well, I'd say. Well, I didn't know this was going to be what a rabbit hole was. Wabbit season open. Alright, over here is another extra life. Let's see, I could go out up here and collect some carrots.
It's tail time.
Eh, what's up, Doc? Alright. There's one of the hunters. Ah, crap, he spotted me. Alright, it's tail time. Okay, let's go on up here. We've passed these, traps. If Gex loves his TV so much, why doesn't he marry it? Well, inside this stump is another extra life. Hi! Oh, I might as well show you something. You can actually lead the bullet to hit it towards him, so... yeah. Didn't work out so well for you there, huh? Alright, let's see. Let's go on up over here. The TV's down there, but I want to go over here to let you know there's another extra life over here.
Fuck. Load the tongue.
Now, there normally aren't very many extra lives going around, like, on the map. You normally would have to get them through collectibles.
Let's get it on!
But anyway, we are done with the second mission. So you might be wondering what that reward silver remote means. Well, I think now it's a good time to talk to you about how collectibles work in this game. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Yeah, I'll update save. I was gonna press select to cancel out, but I guess there's no harm in doing this.
It's tail time.
Alright, let's go to Jump to the Teetering Rock.
Hey, I feel like I'm trapped in Boy George's pants.
What, did he have, like, really bizarre fashion sense? Well, anyway, about collectibles. So, we have these carrots. These are considered Tier 1 collectibles. We need to collect 30 of those to get an extra life. We could get these by collecting them, like, around the map, interacting with certain objects in the environment, defeating enemies, that sort of stuff. No, you
Plenty
don't.
more where this came from, baby.
Alright. So after we get our 30 Tier 1 items, we now have to collect 40 Tier 2 collectibles. Oh, by the way, you want to be fast about the carrots, the back carrots here, because the collectibles can actually go through these walls here. I think there's some walls that collectibles can bounce on, but not those walls for some reason.
The old 5-finger discount.
So, let's see. Okay, watch out for the, falling anvils, fat ladies, and they even throw the kitchen sink in there! They're throwing everything, including the kitchen sink! That's how you know they mean business.
It's tail time!
So once we collect 40 Tier 2 collectibles, we now have our Tier 3 collectibles. We collect 50 of these, and that's when we get our reward silver remote.
What's that, Mr. Bug? Timmy's trapped down a well?
Well, Timmy never was trapped down a well, but like everybody else was. Are you trying to say something?
This is really about your father, isn't it? Just getting my kicks, darling.
Yeah, you can hang on to a fly, and it's actually something you can use as an extra health unit. So, I guess kind of carrying over from the first Gex game, where you can have a choice between health and a power-up. You can hold on to a fly for an extra health unit, or you can eat it to gain a power-up, or an extra life. So that's actually pretty neat.
You're nothing, see? You're nothing.
Okay, sure, just do that. Okay, for some reason my tail wasn't really working against that guy. Oh well, we're done with this area here. I might as well collect these. And these. I think there's some hidden in the trees here. There we go. We get ourselves the silver reward remote. Hey, it's a mailbox. It's mail time! Oh, and you said time to go postal. How fitting. Alright, this checkerboard TV here, that's a checkpoint. I am sorry for your eyes. Alright, these, I have no idea what these things are supposed to be, but you squish them with your tail bounce, and they'll regurgitate some collectibles for you. Don't worry, they're totally safe to eat.
This is for all the angels in heaven.
Oh, actually, I might as well show you what's over here. Oh, let me wait for this, lift here. Then we could go to this construction site here.
Why, you? I'll murderize you.
Alright, let's have some of that. Now, when you're going over, like, collecting collectibles, I missed that. Oops! Well, anyway, I want to tell you that, tail bouncing is something you should be very familiar with. When you tail bounce on the spotter while walking, this is what your tail bounce is like. But if you do it while running, you'll actually move faster and jump higher. So you'll want to move around before you start tail bouncing for the best results. Pimp strutting. I forget what a pimp is. Probably I think it has something to do with, like, something about sex. I don't know. My mom told me not to say it when I was young, so...
You don't shop, baby. Slip of the tongue, baby.
Alright, I guess this first episode's gonna be a bit of an overload of information. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering what happens if you get 50 of these collectibles again, it's just gonna be another extra life. Nothing really important. I'm just gonna do it just to show you. Yeah, there we go. Whoa, never seen that before. Anyway, this canyon area actually has some bizarre secrets to it. Did you know that this cactus has a face? I didn't actually know. But anyway, really, the secrets. You see this railroad crossing sign? We can stand on it here, and, if we... Let's see, if we run and tail bounce... Did you hear that? There was like a sort of tingling noise and a... Well, nothing seems to happen, but, if we go over this way...
Damn IRS.
I'm not sure if you heard it while I was in that, like, construction area, but over here, this is the song that plays there, but this is in a different sound font. We have no idea why this is the case, and, that trigger sound that's in the, what is it? That comes from here, that's also available in the N64 version, but it doesn't change the music at all. So, it leads me to believe that this Easter egg of sorts was intentional, but could it have led to something more? Well, anyway, there's one more secret around here. And, we're gonna go out of bounds. We're gonna take a journey out of bounds. Somewhat. Alright, let's see if I can do this right. Hey! Nope, that's, you kinda can't turn all the way to do it. I kinda had it there. It's gonna be a while. I may have to cut if I fail too many times. Nuts. Smack yourself against the wall, that's great. Let's see, can I, like...
You by Upchuck Jones.
Yeah, that cactus is not doing me any favors. I'm gonna have to just do like this. Ah, come on, I had it. There we go, I got it. Alright, let's run around and tail bounce. That's something you absolutely must master, just like run around in circles and do that. So once we get up around here, we can see there's an Extra Life TV. But it's not an ordinary one.
Stuff right there, boy.
This is an Infinite Life TV. So, I'm only just going to take a few of these. But yeah, you can whack that TV as many times as you want, and eat as many of those flies as you want, and never gain weight. And get infinite lives while you're at it. Alright. Alright, now we're done with this place, so let's step on the button here.
Now that's what I call getting some tail.
And we're out of here. Look at all those collectibles. Juicy, delicious collectibles. Maybe not the dynamite, though. I don't want any doses of nitroglycerin in the morning. And for collecting 3 red remotes, we open the way to Gilligek's Isle, our first boss. But of course, you should know me by now. We're not going to be tackling that just yet. We're gonna take out the other area next time on Gex Enter the Gecko. We will be going into Smell Razor and raise some smells. Whatever that means. So, with all that said, thank you for watching. This is Stylus signing off. See you next time. Did I just go through that entire level without Gex saying the Jerry Garcia line? Let me fix that.
Note to self, don't drink tap water at Jerry Garcia's.
That's better. Don't drink tap water at Jerry Garcia's.